Good afternoon, and welcome to our annual Founders Luncheon. My name is Josie Zapata, and I am the Senior Manager of Supply Chain Optimization at Tropicana Division of PepsiCo. I am also part of the Board of Directors of the Women's Resource Center. My role is to collaborate with the Latinas of the Center in developing programs specifically designed to support the Latino community in Manatee County. Today is an exceptional day. This is the time of the year we raise awareness of the programs and services our center offers. We are also taking time to acknowledge two wonderful milestones. This upcoming September, we celebrate our 25th anniversary. And this past January, the Latina Empowerment Support Group just celebrated their 10th anniversary. As a PepsiCo associate, I am very proud of working for an organization that understands the importance of serving others. Being part of the board has taught me the importance of being an authentic leader for those teams that I've served within my organization, which leads me to why I'm passionate about the mission of the center. As a Latina, I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. I came from very humble backgrounds. My grandmother was the most influential person in my life. She set the best example of serving others. I remember her involvement at church, in the hospitals, in jail. She served those in need. I will never forget the day we went to clean a house, and I asked her, "Why do you do this?" And her answer to me was, "Mija, no para esta vida, sino para la otra." My daughter, it's not for this life, but for the other. So of course, back then, I couldn't really understand that concept. But I clearly understood this. She was the heart of the family. She was very clear on her purpose, what I call the why in her life. She didn't care about the what, she didn't care about the how. So when I reflect upon what the Women's Resource Center stands for, it takes me back to my grandmother and the values she instilled in all of her 9 granddaughters. It's about creating programs and services that lead to empowering women, changing lives, and strengthening our community. Crafting the heart of the family. So today is about celebrating all women. The women who have discovered the why in their lives. The women who have started their journey to figure it out. And for the women who have realized that there's a bigger purpose, but don't yet know what that looks like. My hope is that today sparks in all of us to define our purpose. So what is your why?
We have 2 wonderful speakers, Elaine and Amalia, joining us, who right now are going, crap, I gotta speak. I know. It's a nice crowd though, they're fun. So a couple of things before we get started. One, time is not moving faster than you think it is. Normally, we've had this event in November, so everybody could go, I thought so. It seemed early. By show of hands, how many are familiar with the Giving Challenge? So they moved the Giving Challenge to September this year. So we thought 2 things. One, we loved having something near Mother's Day because we all just support and love strong women. And 2, if I did the Giving Challenge, the Founders Luncheon, and Deja Blues in 3 months, people don't answer my calls now. They would be like, forget it. I'd be off speed dials forever. So, but we like the Mother's Day timing, and you're going to get a chance to honor those women in your life. Another really exciting thing this year, it's our 25th anniversary. Awesome. Jan Entwistle. Don't worry, I'm not going to just Jan. All started in Jan's living room with my AAUW table, who waved to me, yes. Junior League, all of the women's organizations in town got together and said, we want to do something for women to show how we've grown and where we are. This year, and we'll do this for the Giving Challenge, we have a donor that has given us a $25,000 challenge gift. So thank you for that, and it is not the J.B. Templeton Scholarship Fund. So no one call my husband and say, do you know what she did? No. But that's wonderful, and I think it just speaks monuments to the service we provide and the work we're doing in the community. Another thing that's really exciting is the support we have. I think Tropicana, as the sole sponsor of this event, and if you look on the back of your table cards, all the companies that support us, I'm not going to do big soapbox today, but if we as a community have the nonprofits, education system, government, and business all working together with the clients, that's when we get systemic change. Agreed? Agreed. And we work collaboratively with so many partner agencies. Laurel Lynch and your group at Hope. Every week we're working together. A new collaboration for us this year that's been really exciting is the Visible Men Academy, and Shannon Rohr-Phillips is here. Thank you for being here. You hosted my table beautifully, thank you. The exciting thing about working with Visible Men has been every month going in and working with the moms and seeing what their obstacles are to really moving forward. Now I see Sandy Gross close, we do PACE, and I'm going to forget someone, so it's okay. But seeing that work and removing the obstacles, and then in, Bronwyn, tell me, November? United Way put out the Alice report. November. So Alice, and if you haven't heard it, you're going to be hearing it, is asset limited, income constrained, employed. And at a certain point, you're all going to be able to just repeat that back. Which is, we really appreciate United Way pointing this out because, or bringing to light truly how many people in our population are on that brink. And when we're reading it, we're like, this is our client. These are the women who maybe made some bad decisions at 18, 19. Who hasn't? John Horn. I didn't wait that late. But working with them, and in particular, a couple of women at the Visible Men Academy on those Saturdays, when they finally get that trust with you, they'll tell you, I never graduated high school and I don't have my GED. And they have shame with that. And it's so sad to think that a decision you made at 18 is still painting your future. And we don't want that. So working with them as well as our clients, we're looking at doing a pilot program that we're really excited about called Project Uplift. Isn't that clever? Uplifting. That's right. Good job, Julie Taylor. But it's really working within the communities because a lot of these clients, they don't qualify for assistance, and it never occurs to them that there's a place for them to get help and support. So by working more intensely in the communities where we know they're living and bringing services to them, sharing with them other services, whether it's with another school, another agency, to get the help they need to be self-sufficient, that's what we all want. And that's what we're about. And it's a privilege. And I think that's why after 12 years, I'm still like, heck yeah, I love the Women's Resource Center. Maybe not tomorrow. But it really is a privilege to be here. And I have to look because we wrote something that was really great, and I'm so bad at using notes. But One of the things we talked about is we wanted to convey the Women's Resource Center is still a relatively small agency, that we don't have any state or federal funding. We received one small grant from Manatee County, and the joy of this is we're supported by the community, and we can listen to the community, and our programs mirror what the needs of the community are. And I have to read it because it was so perfect, that it's the, we've responsibly created programs to meet emerging community needs as they are identified. It's how we started in that living room. It's how we've grown, and it's who we are today. So it's perfect. So thank you for being here. Having a room full of people to support what we do, that's a testament to all of you who were there 25 years ago. So thank you. Jan, Elaine Graham with AAUW, all of you. Susan Wilcox with Junior League, thinking she's getting away from a spotlight. So with that said, the real stars of today are our speakers. So Elaine Ackle, please join me and give her warm welcome.
Thanks, and it's just so wonderful to see all these women here. Oh my gosh, and the guys too, of course, but look at all the strength in this room. Oh my gosh. I also tend to ramble, so I took notes. And I just want to tell you a brief 5-minute story, because that's what I was told I have. I really, in my heart, believe I am standing here today because of 4 very special women. First and foremost, and I haven't seen her yet, is Jamie Carter here? Oh, man. Well, she is the first person on my list that I want to genuinely thank her, and I have thanked her a million times privately, but I wanted to thank her publicly. I lost my mom in 2006, and I took a year off from my job, and my CEO, Don Doddridge at Florida Blood Center at the time, was just amazing and said, take as much time as you need, and that ended up being a year. And the first year I was flying back and forth, and finally it just got to the point that I needed time. I needed to be with my mom. My whole family lives in Canada, and I just felt the need to be close to my mom. I'd missed all these years with her, with me living in Florida and her being in Canada. So I did. I took that year off, and she passed holding my hand, and it was a long, very painful, brutal passing. And I came back home, and within about 3 months, I was just grieving terribly. I was at such a loss. And I ran into Jamie somewhere out and about like we did, and she said, how are you? And I just fell apart. I just lost it. And she said, you need to call the Women's Resource Center. So that's how my journey really started with the Women's Resource Center. So Jamie was amazing in making that come to fruition. So I then went to the Women's Resource Center and was greeted by a volunteer and met Sue Mackey. Is the second person I want to publicly thank, and she could not be here today. But for those of you that know Sue Mackey from the Women's Resource Center, I know in my heart, again, this is 2 of the 4 women that I am here today, because she helped me through a very long, painful, difficult process of grief in my life. And this, going there the first time, there's that, sense of intimidation. Oh gosh, is anybody going to see me? What am I doing here? Get a grip, Elaine, This is the natural cycle of life. We all lose our parents, and I just was not functioning. Depression had really taken over. And for those of you that know me, I am a type A, busy person. Depression doesn't sit well in me, and it was really overcoming my life. I just was not functioning. I was also in a long-term relationship that was really going nowhere. So Sue Mackey helped me with both of those things and got me to where I am today. She even helped me through my ex-husband's passing, and I got my children in to see her, and she really helped them through their grief process. So God bless Sue Mackey. I love you dearly, and I'm so glad to have ever met you. The third person in my life that I want to thank is Dr. Kathy Cooper. I had never met her. I had made an appointment to see her just before I left to go to Canada for that year. I had not had a physician in a year. I'd lost my physician. She moved away. And I'd set this appointment up with Dr. Kathy, and I got home, and 3 days later, my appointment was there. And I went in, and she said, why are you here? And I said, well, I really just wanted to meet you and get to know you, and I'm looking for a new physician. And she said, okay, and how are things? And I lost it again. And that's how it went. She cried about her recent father's passing, and he passed away very tragically and suddenly. And I grieved over my mom. So for 30 minutes, we just hugged and cried. She is still my doctor today. And she knows very much what the Resource Center has done for me. And she just recently told me, I saw her last week for my annual visit, and she said she's referred many women to this organization as a result of our conversations, and there were many. And the fourth person I want to thank is Richie Taylor, who's sitting right over here. And she is my boss and my longtime friend, and she rescued me. I could not function, and I actually resigned from my job because Richie offered me the most amazing job in the whole world. And at the time, I just was not, it wasn't happening. I couldn't get through a day. And my CEO at the Blood Center said, Elaine, you take as much time as you need and only work till 10 if that's what you have to do. And there were 800 employees, and every morning somebody would come into my office and give me a hug, and that was it. I made it an hour. And then I made it 2, and I was lucky to ever make it till noon. And then Richie called me and invited me to lunch and said, I'd like you to come work for me. And here I am. 9 years ago, next week, I have been with the Taylor Family Foundation. But many people, thank you. Many people don't even realize what the Women's Resource Center does. And I have been with nonprofits forever, and I knew about the Women's Resource Center. When I left my job with the Blood Center and went to work for the foundation, I donated 150 suits. It was great. I don't have to wear all that stuff anymore. It was great. But I really didn't realize what they did until I personally needed them. And they changed my life. Depression kills. It's a very, very strong, powerful illness, and untreated, left untreated, it can really take lives, and it does take lives every day across this country. So I want to thank the Women's Resource Center. I want to thank Ashley Brown, the volunteers, the board of directors, the friends, the family, the powerful women in this room. You are here today because you believe in what they do, and I just can't thank you enough. I'm standing and I'm alive and I'm here today because of people at the Women's Resource Center. Thank you very much. Hold it, I'm not done yet. And on a brighter note, I am wearing today from Unique Boutique my White House black garment shirt and my White House nonprofit top. And jewels, Becky Arpaia, thank you very much, wherever you might be. All for $31.
And a sales pitch.
I know. I couldn't help it. I thought I'll just throw that one in.
That's perfect. I like Elaine. Doesn't like that. So, and I think Elaine's story is something that really helps us identify if things are going well in your life, and if you're feeling well, and if your sense of self is intact, you can handle anything. But when you get in that place, any of us could lose our way. So thank you for sharing your story, Elaine. We really appreciate it. A couple of just housekeeping thank yous. Charles Clapsaddle, METV, we always appreciate having you here. And I feel like I should put award-winning filmmaker Charles Clapsaddle. Dottie Turner, where's Dottie? Our chair for today's luncheon, thank you very much. My staff, Amanda Horn for doing the flowers always. She says it's therapy. I don't believe you, but thank you. We appreciate it. And all of my staff who's kind of around, we really appreciate you. And then if you haven't, I'm seeing some of the desserts go around. Dana Johnson from Sugar Cubed and Village of the Arts donated all of those for us today. So thank you for that. So now everybody's like, oh, get the desserts, pass it. Right? So our next speaker, while we're celebrating 25 years with the Women's Resource Center and talk about the passion and the energy to get the center started, I had been at the center about 2 years when Jane Parker, who's no longer with us and we lost her to South Carolina, the upstate, near I don't know what that school is up there. But she and Maria Zavala came into my office and said, we have a need for a Latina empowerment group in Manatee County, and I want to start it. I live my life and, all right, why not? Let's try it. What's the worst that could happen? So the worst that could happen is no one showed up for like a year. It was a while. And then, so we kind of worked it, and Maria was tireless, and she's like, I know these women need it. They're telling me they need it. They're telling me they want it. So we actually partnered with another agency where the women felt more comfortable and they knew. And then slowly started coming to the Women's Resource Center. I think it was a year and a half, honestly, and Maria and Janet, and yeah. So there's a whole, Maria's the one that came in my office, but there's a whole core of Latinas that have moved this mission forward. So after that year and a half, I am not allowed in the living room on Monday night from 6 o'clock till 8. They will invite me to leave nicely. I think it's nicely. And then this year we had a huge boost to that when Josie Zapata joined the board of the Women's Resource Center in August. Josie became a part of the Latinas, and the work you guys have done in that period of time, amazing. So, and Judy Sedgman, but there's Judy at the Latina table, facilitated a great strategic planning session. So I'm really excited to see where it's going. So congratulations to the Latinas, and we have a table in the back, we have you guys, and our next speaker really benefited from. So thank you guys. Congratulations. And things that you all do to make me look good always make me happy, so right? I like that. So our second speaker has a great story. And the thing I love about your story is it speaks to the collaborations that we have and how we all work together. So please join me in welcoming Amalia Flores.
Oh my goodness. Well, hello. Well, first of all, I'm so happy for being here with my Latinas. And I want to thank Ashley and Maria Zavala for inviting me today. Well, my name is Amalia Flores. I was born in Mexico. I'm an artist, a graphic designer, and a chef, and much more. If you know me, you know I do everything. So let me see. Okay, I have dedicated myself in body and soul to the raising of 3 wonderful children, and to being the perfect wife and the homemaker, until February 2012, when I made the decision to end 16 years of domestic and psychological abuse against my children and me. And then my painful divorce process began. It lasted almost 2 years of living in terror, going almost every week to the court, and losing everything little by little. Like any other woman, the price I have had to pay was too big. When I hired my attorney, the first thing that she made for us, or she did for us, was sending me to Hope Family Services. Well, just let me tell you this. For years, I was helping all these people, all these schools, Catholic schools, with my children. And for the first time in my life, I don't had it, but I have to ask for help. So when I went with my children to the Hope Shelter, we met wonderful women there. I call them angels. Like Maria Briones. I don't know if she's here. Where's Maria Briones? No? Okay. Margarita, Tiffany, Marcela, and much more. And talking about angels, I have to say that thanks to God, I am surrounded by them. My mom, she's here visiting from Mexico. My sister and my friends. During that horrible time, they were the ones who helped and supported me. One of these angels is my dear friend, Amy Mavis. Where is Amy? I don't see Amy, but, okay. Let me see. One day, she invited me to have a cup of coffee at Panera when I was so desperate. And she told me about the Latina group at the Women's Resource Center. So I went there on a Monday night, not knowing anyone. To my surprise, I found a living room full of Latinas who were gathering in this place weekly in a support group with amazing activities, topics, meetings, leading by another angel in my life, Maria Zavala. I only have words of appreciation for her. In a very short time, she has helped me to continue moving forward a few steps at a time. It was exactly what I needed, a space just for me. And that is when and where the change began in me. After having lived for more than a year in fear and sadness, I began to understand so many things for the first time. I chose to end my sadness and pain. I was able to scream, "No more." From now on, my life and my children's lives are going to change. The Latina group on Mondays touches many different topics. We talk, we ask questions, we share stories, we meet new friends, and more importantly, we support one another. Because at the end of the day, we are all, no matter what country we come from, we all have our own story. One of the things that I really enjoyed at the center was I took this wonderful class about how to begin a small business. So I went to that classes, I think for 6 weeks. It was wonderful. And thanks to that, I started my own business, making greeting cards. And I started selling my cards like crazy. And thanks to that, we had food on the table for almost a year and a half for my children and for myself. So I recommend that class. It's really cool. Thank you. Now I can say that I'm a happy person. I'm happy with my life the way it is right now. I am happy with my children in our new home. I love my job. I love my friends. I am surrounded by love and so many angels. Currently, I have a wonderful job at Manatee Children's Services in Bradenton as a creative director and event planner for the agency. Thanks to another angel, my dear friend and boss, Melinda Thompson, who gave me my first job. I started as a secretary, and I'm an artist. I didn't have any idea how to do it, but I did it. I did it for 6 months. And then we opened our art gallery at the Village of the Arts, and now I have a new position at the agency. This is amazing how life changes. And I think everything is a circle. When I started my divorce, my horrible divorce, the first thing that I did was to call Manatee Children Protection Services for my children. And now, after almost 3 years, I'm working with them. So this is a small world. Thank you so much.
See if I can follow that. I'd like to first thank you, Ashley, for bringing up that I was in trouble at 18. My mother's in the audience, and she never knew of anything I ever got into. Nothing. Perfect child. Thanks a lot. I know that. And now I'm here for you. Before I get to my part, the flowers on the table, as Ashley said, were done by Amanda. She's got so many talents. That's just one of them. I can't get into too many of them with you. But at banquets like this, you always get to take the flowers home. So what we're going to do tonight or today, anyone who has a birthday, anyone at the table of May 3rd, 1961, can take the vases home. Anyone? Oh, I got one. All right, I'll take them. You may, however, take the flowers. So if you'd like to take the flowers, Braden and Harold put a bag underneath them. I think it's a newspaper bag. Is that what it is, Dottie? Yeah. There's a newspaper bag under. Please take the flowers. I get Mike in trouble if you take the vases. So please don't take the vases. Unless you were born on May 3rd, 1961. That's the winning ticket tonight. She will kill me. It seems like almost every day we're asked to support one cause or another. I did a little search on, what was it, GuideStar this morning? There's 339 not-for-profits in Manatee and Sarasota County, just on GuideStar. 412 received more monies from last year's Giving Challenge, and over 700 were registered with the Giving Challenge. And I think the number I've heard is there's 2,100 not-for-profits in Sarasota, Manatee County. That's a lot of people asking for money, isn't it? I mean, you'd like to sit there and say, I think every day I get a request, but every day I get a request. I mean, there's just so many different ones out there. We've heard several: the Early Learning Coalition, the Boys and Girls Club, Habitat for Humanity, Humane Society, Audubon Society, the Junior League, the Friends of the Library, the United Way, the Substance Abuse, Veterans Council, the Independent Insurance Agency, the Sheriff's Mounted Posse, the Fire Chiefs Association, Senior Advocacy Council, Gold Star, Service Club, Pace Center for Girls, and then you turn to page 2. And there's more obscure not-for-profits out there than you can imagine. But one of the best things we have in our community is that people are so very generous. We're very fortunate in our area. I mean, I've only lived here in Central Florida, but everyone I've talked to says they cannot get over our community and how giving they are, and just the spirit of giving that is in our community. There are a lot of people that need help, but there are more people in our community that want to help. It's a fantastic community, and I'm glad to be part of it. Look here today. I mean, this is fabulous. This is a room full of people that said yes. And it's a room full of people that say yes to a lot of people and a lot of things and a lot of help and a lot of fun, too. So that's what I'm here today, is to ask you for help. So if you'll look on the tables, you'll find giving pledges on the table. You didn't think it was a free lunch, did you? So there's a couple of different ways. And as Ashley said, there is a $25,000 match by a very, very generous donor who they wouldn't tell me who it was, so I didn't slip today while I was up here. I mean, what good's a secret if you can't tell everybody, right? I don't know. I'm not good at that. But people ask me, why the Women's Resource Center? Why are we involved with the Women's Resource Center? And I have to tell you that for me, their mission matches a lot of our beliefs. I'd like to live in a glass house, or in utopia, and think that no one needs help. You know, that you can just have a margarita and everything will be fine. It's not quite the best way to get through your problems. But it's happened in our business. I can't tell you how many times people have come up and they say, John, I know you know someone at the Women's Resource Center, or I know Amanda is affiliated with the Women's Resource Center. X, Y, and Z are happening in my life. Is that somewhere I can turn to? Or where can I get help? And it's phenomenal to see these people torn up. And then one phone call, one visit, one help session, one counseling, one boost. And they come back to work with the biggest smile on their face, and it feels like the whole world's been lifted off their backs. And that's what the Women's Resource Center does. And I see it firsthand. I mean, I have staff members that come back that have had some help, that have just been given just a little bit of direction, which is what a lot of people need. They need someone to say, you know what, how about if you try this? Or let's sit and talk about this, or let's talk to this person. You'd be surprised. Well, no one in this room would be surprised. But it's a tremendous organization that helps a tremendous number of people in our community. And we appreciate what y'all do. And so that's why we contribute and support and send my wife to work every day. But we're glad to be part of it. I am fortunate. I grew up in a family of very, very strong women. My mother's sitting here. If you don't think she's a strong taskmaster, yikes. I had a strong aunt. I had 2 strong grandmothers. I could tell you stories upon stories of how strong my dad's mother is or was. Ooh, they'd scare you. But I had the fortunate ability of having strong women in my family. A lot of people don't have that same strength. They don't have that resource at home. And it's nice that they can go somewhere and get that resource. And that's what the Women's Resource Center has been able to provide for a lot of our staff and a lot of our people in our community. If you'd like to hear some of the stories about Granny Hayes, let me know. As I said earlier, I know each of you are asked almost daily for different causes, different charities, this shuffleboard court tournament, anything of that nature. But this is an opportunity to help the women in our community. If you'll please fill out the membership or the donor card. Any amount of money is good. If you donate more than $25 today, any donation over $25 will be matched in the grant, the $25,000 match. Any $25 donation, and the Bradenton Herald is going to publish a very special section on Mother's Day, and so you can put in honor of or in memory of any woman you would like. So that's a nice thing that Buzz has done. Thank you, Dottie. So that's what the other card is in honor of. Question?
And your honoree will get a handwritten note, so there's their Mother's Day present. Done. Shopping.
Perfect. And it's so much better than a tchotchke that you'll just have to go and, you know. I know Mom's got just a closet full of crap I've given her over the years. This way she doesn't have to act like she likes it. And how many ties does a dad need, right? So I started doing a donation to an organization for Father's Day about 5 years ago because Dad doesn't wear ties. And so, I mean, I think after, 40 years of ties, he was probably tired of them. But it's a great way to say Happy Mother's Day. And it's something that she won't throw away. So please join me in proudly supporting the Women's Resource Center. And for the Latinas, Feliz Cinco de Mayo. And do not take the vases.
Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much for being here. We appreciate you all. Thank you to our speakers. Have a great rest of your day.